The closing call of Psalm 114 says, "Tremble, O earth, at the presence of the Lord," verse 7. Everyone should fear God, but this is a warning to those who stand in his way as he rescues his beloved people. Israel, we're told at the start of this psalm, was trapped in a foreign land among people who spoke a strange language and practiced customs and worship that were oppressively alien to God's will. But God brought his people out of Egypt and shook the earth to give them a home. He divided the impassible Red Sea and the raging Jordan River so that his people passed through on dry land. Along the way, God shook Mount Sinai to indicate his powerful presence. To give Israel a home, God defied the natural course of providence, stopping seas, moving mountains, bringing water from the rock to nourish his children. And God will shake the earth to give believers a home as well. The book of Hebrews says that God will once more shake not only the earth, but also the heavens, chapter 12, verse 26. Believers today, the writer goes on to say, are receiving a kingdom that cannot be shaken. Like the Israelites, God has reserved a country for you. It's better than the land of Canaan. It is the place where God dwells, his true sanctuary and dominion. And God will move mountains and separate seas and stop roaring rivers for you to get there if you trust in him. You can't do any of those things. But the Lord will fight for you, and you have only to be silent, as Moses described to the people of Israel as they waited on the shore of the Red Sea with the Egyptian army advancing against them. God has defeated the giant Satan at the cross of Christ. When Christ died, Matthew says in chapter 27, verse 51, the earth shook and the rocks were split apart. That is a symbol of victory for God and his people. The Psalm's point is similar to Paul's in Romans chapter 8. If God did all this for you, how will he not also with Christ graciously give us all things? Verse 32 says. Psalm 114, interestingly, doesn't even address God's people, doesn't speak to them. It is as if God stands at the head of his children and taunts the enemy on our behalf, verses 5 and 6. The Lord warns people of the earth that unless they serve the Lord with fear and rejoice with trembling, they will perish in the way, as Psalm 2 puts it. That's not an idle threat, but the threat is only for those who reject him. Blessed are those who take refuge in him. Here is Psalm 114. When Israel went out from Egypt, the house of Jacob from a people of strange language, Judah became his sanctuary, Israel his dominion. The sea looked and fled, Jordan turned back, the mountains skipped like rams, the hills like lambs. What ails you, O sea, that you flee, O Jordan, that you turn back? O mountains, that you skip like rams, O hills like lambs? Tremble, O earth, at the presence of the Lord, at the presence of the God of Jacob, who turns the rock into a pool of water, the flint into a spring of water.